Where are we now? Evidence of an ability to form good and respectful professional working relationships with a wide range of professional colleagues. So, again, it's about thinking, okay, we work within a team, or as psychologists, we often do work within a team. Within the team, there are lots of different professionals and different perspectives, but different personalities as well. And you may or may not get on with everybody. It kind of doesn't matter. The point is that we need to function as a team, a healthy and a productive team, so that we can serve the population that we're here to serve. So are you able to contribute effectively? Do you feel able to contribute effectively to the group? Are you going to pipe up and speak in that team meeting because you feel it's needed? Or are you going to be the person who kind of sits in the corner and doesn't? Of course, we need to be thinking about the harmony of the team. So it's important not to step on people's toes where possible, taking the route of least resistance, picking battles, making sure that we're doing things in a way that's conscientious, and we're thinking about how people might take the way that take us, and really working collaboratively in the team and keeping the harmony of the team at the forefront of what we're doing. Evidence of a capacity to reflect constructively on all aspects of own performance, academic, clinical, and professional. So yeah, this comes back to our professionalism and also our ability to be adaptable and flexible. So are you able to constructively think about your strengths, think about your learning needs, and how you're going to go about addressing those learning needs? Are you thinking about that yourself? Are you thinking about the feedback that you're getting and how you can apply that to the next bit of work that you're doing? Are you applying your skills and knowledge that you've gained from feedback? And this really taps into having a high level of integrity and understanding for yourself that by addressing your learning needs, you're creating a better clinician within yourself. A more rounded clinician. Evidence of a capacity to reflect constructively on all aspects of own performance. So this goes back to adaptability and flexibility. Are you able to reflect on your own strengths and your own learning needs? And are you able to think of ways to meet your own learning needs? Can you put a plan in place to meet your own learning needs? What kind of experiences and feedback do you need to improve on your learning needs? Are you able to kind of keep your calm, keep your cool, based on the pressure that you'll be under as a trainee clinical psychologist, so that you can deliver all the aspects of the course and the work and the assignment in the time frames to the best of your ability? These are all things that you need to keep in mind when you're doing the situational judgment test, that they'll be testing that you have an idea of what this training involves, that it is very demanding, but that you have the skills to say, this is what's needed at this time. I'm not very good at that. That will help me if I learn this, and it will help me in that way to be better at X. You've got to be able to have those processes, and by doing the situational judgment test and holding these things in mind, you'll be able to demonstrate that you do have these abilities and these skills to reflect in this way. So yeah, so that's it. Similar evidence of a capacity to reflect realistically on your own strengths and weaknesses. So again, that comes down to being professional and adaptable, flexible, and all of those wonderful things. Evidence of receptiveness to academic feedback and clinical supervision to apply ideas and knowledge gained from this feedback to current and novel contexts. Again, being able to apply feedback. I guess the important thing here is, openness and receptiveness to feedback. When you get feedback, how are you taking that? How does it make you feel? Being able to kind of take feedback on the chin and use it constructively is a key thing in training. We're there to learn. Yes, we've got a job to do, definitely being paid to do a particular job, but we're there to learn. And if we're not able to take that feedback on board and use it, what are we there for? So it's about being able to communicate that through the situational judgment test, keeping that at the forefront of your mind, that I'm here to learn and to take on the feedback that people in my placement and at university are going to be giving to me. All right, next. Evidence of receptiveness to academic feedback and clinical supervision, and to apply ideas and knowledge gained from this feedback to current and novel contexts. So yes, that's about being able to take the feedback and really use it for the betterment of your clinical practice across the board. Evidence of values consistent with the Nhs Constitution. Okay, so let's have a quick look over there, look at the Nhs Constitution. to get an idea of what the NHS Constitution says and what values and ideals we should have that are consistent with that. So the NHS Constitution sets out rights for patients, public and staff. It outlines NHS commitments to patients and staff and the responsibilities that public, patients and staff owe to one another to ensure that the NHS operates fairly and effectively. All NHS bodies and private and third sector providers supplying NHS services are required by law to take account of the Constitution in their decisions and actions. So we're all signing up to the NHS Constitution in essence when we decide to work for the NHS. So it has seven key principles. First, the NHS provides a comprehensive service available to all. So there is a real sense there that this needs to be a accessible service. So thinking again about equality and diversity. Access to NHS services is based on clinical need, not an individual's ability to pay. So yeah, we obviously agenda for change doesn't really impact us in terms of kind of we just get paid a standard amount, but in terms of services being based on clinical need, it's about holding in mind that we all have, I guess, a framework for each individual services, which tells us who is eligible for our service, who isn't, and that we need to be sticking to that and giving people, referring people on where that is needed. But also thinking about, when people are in more urgent need, that we're able to see them sooner rather than later. The NHS, what's number 3? The NHS aspires to the highest standards of excellence and professionalism. So, that's working with integrity, taking on all the feedback and improving our work and our service wherever we possibly can. The patient will be at the heart of everything that NHS does, so really keeping the people that we see centre. Number 5, the NHS works across organisational boundaries, so about communicating and working across services, which is sometimes a nightmare, but it's very important. Often when it is the hardest is when it's the most needed. Number 6, the NHS is committed to providing best value for taxpayers' money, so we're trying to do things in the most economical way possible. Number 7, the NHS is accountable to the public, communities, and patients that it serves. So we're always trying to get patient involvement in there and patient participation happening. We're working for the public. So as trainee clinical psychologists, you are essentially going to be signing up to the NHS Constitution, and so as part of the situational judgment test, they'll want to know that you are kind of on board with these key points here. So underpinning the NHS Constitution are the NHS values. I'm just going to very quickly go over those. There are 6 of them, and there are 6 values that underpin everything that we do in the NHS, and they're meant to inspire passion. Each individual NHS trust, mental health trust, will have its own values, but these are the kind of core ones that are underpinning all of the work that we do. And if you wanted to, you can go onto the NHS Trust website, the one that you're applying to, and have their values so that you're able to kind of get a more direct, bespoke set of values for your situational judgment test. But let's have a look at these 6. So working together for patients, so that's all about kind of working collaboratively, which is one of our core skills that we're talking about. Respect and dignity, which relates very, very closely to working ethically, but also working with equality and diversity. Commitment to quality of care, so that's about it relates a little bit to us being adaptive and responsive, but also just trying to, I guess, learn and be flexible so that we're providing the best care available out there. Compassion, relates kind of to our interpersonal skills and making sure that we are connecting with the people that we're seeing in a kind of empathic way. Improving lives, very, very similar. And everyone counts, so taking everyone into consideration, whether that is clients, service users, whether they're well, unwell. everybody counts, and it's important that we're all having a good quality of experience when we are engaging with NHS services. Okay, so that's the NHS values and the NHS Constitution. The situational judgment test will likely be tapping into those as well. So it's important to keep those in mind.